All right, so here's question number one. This is a conversation about the current state of relationships. And coming out of COVID, relationships in general, whether they're work relationships, dating relationships, marriage relationships, parenting, everything feels like a mess. Where are you seeing the state of relationships? I know that's a broad question. Answer it as you will. What are you seeing as the state of relationships?
Yeah, they're a mess.
Yeah.
They're a mess for a couple of reasons. Well, one is I've written about this pretty extensively. Things are changing, and we're not completely caught up with ourselves. In heterosexual relationships, I believe that women across the board, north, south, east, west, whatever, are asking for new levels of emotional connection and intimacy from us men than we raise boys and men to deliver. What it means to be a man traditionally is to be invulnerable. The more invulnerable you are, the more manly you are, the more vulnerable you are, the more girly you are. And that is true to this day. You may raise your son differently in your little hothouse nuclear family, but trust me, that kid knows the score once he hits the playground.
That's right.
Girls and women have changed dramatically over the last 50 years, and us guys have not. And there's a role disjuncture. Women want men to be vulnerable. They want men to share their feelings, to be compassionate to the woman's feelings, to be, we've never wanted more from our relationships than we want right now. In our grandparents' generation, you got along, nobody beat anybody, nobody cheated or drank too much, you were okay. Nowadays, we want long walks on the beach, holding hands and heart-to-heart talks and great sex into our 60s. We really want to be lifelong lovers, but our non-relational, patriarchal, individualistic culture does not teach men and women the skills we need to pull this off. And people have outsized ambition about wanting to be close for life, but we just don't know how to do it. We don't know how to stand up for ourselves and be loving at the same time. We don't know how to listen to our partners and not get defensive. We don't know how to repair when the wheels come off. We don't know how to negotiate. We don't know how to cherish, a lot of us guys. And I would like basic relationship skills taught in elementary school and junior high and high, but we don't do that.
I love that you call them skills. When I encourage couples to practice things, they look at me like I'm nuts. And if we can distill these things down into a series of skills that we just don't have. Okay, so help me with this. I'm a lifelong Texan. I was born and raised in Texas before I came here, and 99% of the stereotypes are accurate, right? So what do I do with sitting by the man who says, all right, I sat down and told my wife how I felt, and she has bought into the I don't want some vulnerable man either. Like she's contributing too, right?
It's also funny, John. That is the first thing I hear from guys every time I talk about cheating. Well, I want to, but my chick doesn't really want me to.
So is that nonsense? Is it just nonsense?
Well, it's a mixed bag. Look, when I talk about the culture of patriarchy, women participate in that culture just like men do. But women are giving us guys mixed messages. On the one hand, I want you to be strong. I don't want you to be, a wimp. On the other hand, I want you to be able to share your feelings. And then when you do, I might get uncomfortable when you do. So, okay, be a man. Say to your gal, excuse me, wasn't that you just telling me you want me to... Now that I do, you're ready to put an apron on me. Give me a break. You got me coming and going. Confront the issue of the mixed message, because that is true. But don't take that as an excuse to lay down and not listen to the other half of the message. Look, what we know from research is that we human beings connect through vulnerability. That's how we share emotionally. And being vulnerable is news to a lot of men, certainly Texas guys. And
Hey, Boston guys too. Boston guys too.
well, it's true. It's just a different way of doing it.
That's right.
And and gals too. I had speaking of Boston, I had a gal, blue collar Boston Irish, Boston Southie, kind that Matt Damon plays in the movies. And I said to her, how you doing? And she said, good. And I said, can you give me 2 syllables? And she said, good.
Exactly.